Gang, today we are talking perk packages in Warzone 2.0. As you know, in Season 2 we are getting custom perk packages, so no more of these pre-made hocus pocus perk packages. We'll be able to make our own classes to play our own playstyles, and I want to break down all the perks that I think you should be running come Season 2. Look, if you're new to the channel, enjoy the content, hit that sub button, push that like button. Let's get right into it, gang. Alright, gang, so in terms of perks, there are a ton of different combinations that I think are going to be super viable after the update with the custom perk packages. And we're not even sure if the UI is going to be laid out the same, because for Warzone you don't really get an ultimate perk. When you get your class and you actually select your perks from a loadout drop, you have all of them right away. I'm not too sure how they're going to play it out, because we do have 4 perks in this game. As of right now, it's not just the standard 3. So if they do decide to stay with this template, this layout, I'm sure they will not continue to keep it called, you know, a bonus perk or an ultimate perk. They'll probably just do a standard 3 or a 4, and that's what I wanted to talk about in this video, are the possibilities of 4 perks being a thing customizable. Because if we look at our options, this is the Vanguard perk package. This, in my opinion, right now is the best perk package you can run. You get double time, high alert, and you get bomb squad. Bomb squad gives you reduced damage from grenades, stuff like that, and it resets the fuse timer. My whole thing with this perk package, you could modify this. This is kind of like the blueprint to be something epic. Obviously, Bird's Eye has been removed from all of these perks, and I believe they actually gave it a nerf. Bird's Eye is not going to do the same thing as it did. It might give you like flash pings. Maybe it even gives you an option when you kill somebody, it pings like Rebirth Island. It just pings their squad. Who knows? But we're not too sure what Bird's Eye is going to do yet. As it stands right now, I think High Alert's going to be the best perk in the game in terms of like the big perk over Ghost. I know a lot of people like running Ghost, but me personally, this map's very big. There's a lot of cover everywhere. High Alert's probably going to be better for Ghost. And to be honest, with how slow the gameplay is, in the off chance that a team does get a UAV and they decide to push me, I'm actually excited about that because I want more interaction, more playstyle. When we're coming to perk packages though, so if we were to take, let's just for an example make this a custom perk package. Double time super solid. Obviously you get increased crouch movement by 30%, and you get a double duration of attack sprint. So we take that, then we throw tracker on our base perk as well. So you can see tracker right here on the left is a base perk. We could replace bomb squad with tracker, so now we have footsteps in the mix. And then we could replace resupply with fast hands for a faster reload. So that ultimately that perk package would look like faster movement, faster reload, seeing enemies' footprints, and knowing when someone's looking at you. That sounds super duper cracked in my opinion, and I hope that's what it comes down to. We need something that's going to give players an edge to maybe be more aggressive or move a little bit more, so we can kind of prevent camping. Another super solid perk package is the Spectre. So you have double time and tracker. You have spotter, so you can spot enemy equipment through walls. You can see when people are camping, their claymores, their proximity mines. And then you also get Ghost. For a while I was under the impression that Ghost didn't work. Maybe that was in the first couple weeks. Ghost was bugged, but it definitely works now. People can definitely use Ghost. We run into that quite a bit. But again, this map, with all the cover it does have, there is a lot of open space, and the contrast to the players on the sand is actually pretty easy to see people. So Ghost, I mean, as good as it is, it's really not that great unless you're in a super urban area like in downtown Al-Mazrah, or maybe even just playing in the caves where you have a bunch of buildings, cave coverage. That's where Ghost is going to come in handy. But when you're fighting out near like oil fields or observatory, Ghost isn't really that big of a deal. Everybody seems to kind of play up top, and you really have open areas. So I don't see Ghost being as big of a perk as it was in the last Call of Duty. We have Scavenger as a base perk as well, and Strong Arm. I don't see anybody choosing Strong Arm. You can lob a drill charge so far in this game, and drill charges definitely seem to be the equipment everyone's running. Throwing knives were huge in the last COD for the instant thirst. That's cool and all, but we really don't have that same movement dynamic where you can thirst, slide, cancel to get your throw knife and keep going. Drill charges, on the other hand, there's a lot of buildings, a lot of cover. It really does help, especially when you knock someone through a window. You can, time it, wait a second for a res, and then, potentially get a re-knock and or knock 2 players with that. So I don't see Strong Arm being like a super solid perk that people might run. Scavenger, I've always been iffy about Scavenger in Warzone. You really always find ammunition. Like, there's bullets all over the map. There's really never a time where you run through the map, you don't have any ammunition. So Scavenger, I really don't see too many people running that. Focus, you got reduced flinch when aiming down sights and extended hold breath duration. If you're sniping, you know, I could definitely see people running Focus, but only for the sniping class. I don't see that for any other class. So again, that's one of those perks that I don't really see too much use out of, but who knows, in the future we might be able to see a little more use out of. Battle hardened, so that's reduced flash stun, EMP, stuff like that, shock sticks, and snapshot grenades. Battle hardened was a super solid perk in the last Warzone. I could definitely see people running that, but if perks are gonna stay in this same layout, I don't see people running battle hardened over double time. I can guarantee you right now, double time will be the first perk in everybody's custom perk package, unless you can swap that order up. And then on the topic of choosing between tracker and battle hardened, if you have a solid headset and you have high alert, tracker is pretty much useless. You can really hear someone and where they are in a building if you're in up close gunfights. That's where I could see battle hardened being over tracker. But hey, if you play on a TV, you're having a hard time, you want the extra edge to know where people are running, especially when people are starting to get a little more shifty, a little more evasive. That's where you might run tracker. Personally, I probably see myself running battle hardened. We'll just have to see how nerfs and buffs for these perks are going to play out. But as of right now, I think all of these perks stand. Most people are going to run the core perks that we ran in Warzone 1. Cold-blooded, I don't really see people running that. You know, high alert warning, it doesn't trigger that. It says does not highlight enemies in recon drones, spotter scope, stuff like that. Undetectable by AI targeting systems, thermal optics, stuff like that. That's pretty solid. I could see cold-blooded being a big perk if the thermal smoke grenade wave keeps growing, and it definitely will. I think right now we don't see a huge trend in metas growing because I think there's a lack of content and player base for Warzone 2. Warzone 1, when one thing started to be a little bit broken, start to break a little bit, everyone was using it right away. I mean, it was instantaneous. I think with the lack of play we're getting in Warzone 2, we're not seeing that quite yet, but thermals, I'm telling you that, what is it, the HZ or SZ holotherm, if that thing continues to trend upwards, cold-blooded will probably be in most people's perk package. Quick fix is one of those perks. I call it a role player's perk, so it's for people who just play really slow. They're playing for the win. They really don't care about getting a bunch of kills. They're just trying to stay alive and get that dub. That's where people are gonna run. Quick fix is one of those perks that, how do I want to word this? In Rebirth, quick fix was lit because you could absolutely run through, you could break someone's camera, get the kill, you know, keep being dodgy, shifty, get out of there, get out of the mix, and your health is going up. But I don't see a lot of people running quick fix right now. I think the trade-off between high alert, ghost, or quick fix isn't great enough. I think maybe if movement was a little more sped up, you know, if we actually had some like smooth movement in this game, it wasn't clunky, quick fix would be a little more viable, but that's not the case. So I'm gonna kind of rule quick fix out for right now, unless they get maybe a little buff to it. Maybe it gives you a faster regen. I don't think too many people are gonna run it. You would think more people would, but with how fast the TTK is in this game, I don't see a really huge benefit to it. Even if your health regens, you don't have plates, you're still going to die so fast. So I'm just gonna kind of breeze past that one. Obviously fast hands, everyone's gonna want fast hands. Faster reload, use equipment and swap weapons faster, that's huge. Being able to use your LMG or AR, your long range weapon, you know, you knock two people from a trios team and you know the third one's pushing you. Being able to switch that weapon when you start to hear the footsteps is massive. So fast hands is definitely staying in everyone's wheelhouse. Overkill, this one's a little bit questionable. The first two perks we talk about, you know, between double time, battle hardened, and tracker, overkill has to come into the mix. Now we could definitely start to see, like we saw in Warzone 1, you buy your first class, you get all of, you know, you get your overkill, everything, and then you get a second loadout, and then you can choose what perks you want to run from there. That could definitely be a thing, but it all depends on the fact, one, our loadout's going to be obtainable early game, and two, how accessible our loadout drop's going to be you know, mid-match like they were in Verdansk and Caldera. My only thing is this map's so large and vehicles are pretty hard to manipulate at this point. They have bad movement that people really don't push those loadout crates as much as they should. But hey, if you make a point to get there, you will get there. Spotter, no one's out here running Spotter. And then Survivor, it says enemies set down, you get automatically pinged, get revived faster by allies. That's definitely a role-playing perk. You're running that perk if you're camping in a building playing for that dub. Who's that guy who gets like all the wins but he gets no kills? It's I think his name's Iron. You play like Iron, you're probably running Survivor. But gang, that's it. That's my perk analysis. So that's where we're at. I definitely think it's going to stay 4 perks with the custom package. I think they're going to drop the name bonus perk and ultimate perk. But we have a pretty solid baseline as of right now. It's probably gonna be double time tracker and or battle hardened, fast hands, and with high alert instead of ghost. That's where I'm standing. Look, if you're new to the channel, enjoy the content, man, hit that sub button, press that like button. I'll catch y'all tomorrow for another heater. Let's get it, gang.